Excellent. All right. So today in our journey on object-oriented programming in Python, we're going to learn about inheritance. Um, Inheritance is a way to, I mean, it sounds self-explanatory. You're going to inherit uh, data, things, variables from one object into the other. And there's good reasons to do that. One of the biggest reasons is so you're not repeating yourself. You always want to keep your code dry. There's a lot of good reasons for that, and we'll talk about it. So, inheritance. Let's say you're designing a personal system or a personnel system, and you got different employees. You need to make different classes for each employee, and they're going to have, uh, instantiated variables, maybe class variables, but they're definitely going to have different variables for each. So this is what we would start with, right? You got a programmer. Programmers have names, IDs, departments, and then languages. And an accountant, he's got a name, an employee, department, but a certification and not a language. So I don't think Code Platoon wants me to read this dramatically. But I love to DM, so I'm going to do it anyways. No, I don't really want to do that. You can all read through
Please
that.
do.
All right, all right. Your twist more about. Oh, Guillermo, you're not a student. All right. Determined, you stare at the glowing screen through the gloomy haze. A burning cigarette rests atop an old Mountain Dew Code Red can. Your fingers, luminescent orange from Dorito dust, so focused that you neglected to savor the flavor of the most delectable of programmers' delights. Something gnaws at you. Is it hunger? No. Mom brought in the sandwiches this afternoon. It's something else. And suddenly it hits you. You are repeating yourself. Your arms go limp. Your hands slide off the keyboard into your lap and off your boxer briefs to hang listlessly beside the cushion of your Secret Lab Omega 2020 stealth gaming chair. They leave phosphorescent trail lines on the fabric of your boxer briefs like the claws of a defeated tiger. You hang your head in shame, recalling the last words of your treacherously assassinated Guru Sensei master, keep it dry. And that's how you should feel when you repeat yourself in code. Shouldn't do it. You look like a nerd. And there's better ways to do these things. As it talks about here, we have three things here getting repeated. One, that eats up lines. Not such a big deal here in 2022. Our computers are not so weak that we have to worry about keeping our character counts down, keeping our line numbers down. It used to be a thing. However, you want to do this because I think we cover this later in this explanation here. But the more you repeated codes you have, the more you have to go back and fix when one thing changes potentially, right? And that is tech debt. So as few, basically you shouldn't repeat yourself ever. Sometimes you'll find cases where it's a little bit easier to just do it. But most of the time you should find a better way. And we'll explain how that kind of works with inheritance. So we're going to take everything that we know a standard employee should have, which is name, employee ID, department, and we're going to create a basic employee. From there, we can branch off and create, different employees based off of their job. And we will reference that original basic employee object, and we'll be able to use everything that it's got, but in these child classes. And the way that looks is this. You are going to, instantiate this variable, or sorry, this object. You're going to knit it just like we always, just like we've been doing. But then using this super call here, we're going to instantiate variables based off of whatever was plugged into here, which is basically its parent. So we're saying, you know, you need all this, but these three here are actually getting passed to basic employee, which is the parent. The only one we have that is unique is languages. For accountant, same story, except it's going to be, you know, certification here. So here we go. So got it all out like that. It gets a little wordy in Python, but this is something you can use outside of object-oriented programming, I guess, outside of doing classes like this. And it is it's cool. Inheritance is cool, and we'll kind of display that. So if we want to create a programmer, we're going to do it as we have kind of gotten used to. Create a variable, reference programmer, and just like it's expecting, name, employee ID, department, languages, we're doing that. And then if everything's plugged in right, it should work. Oh, that's because I didn't paste basic employee. Nobody caught that? You guys are supposed to be learning how to pair program. You sit here and let me make a fool in front of all of you. All right, let's try this again. Oh, yeah, because I didn't reference something specific. However, we do have that object there. Let me not go so off script and print what it wants us to see. Spit out its actual values.
Got an extra print.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Good catch. Wait, that was Guillermo? Guillermo, you gotta let them catch it. I'm doing it on purpose, I promise.
Got it.
Yeah, anyways, there we go. So really not showing you anything special at this point. This works as you would expect it to, but now I'm telling you, you've got to use this dumb thing and use this dumb thing. But it does operate this way. This is a way to save a lot of lines when you're building out different you know, objects, or sorry, classes that all reference kind of the same main data type. So there's some there's things to kind of, I guess, understand about this. These values that we toss into super, technically they're belonging to this basic employee, and then we're referencing them. So we're instantiating what is referenced from basic employee in accountant. Accountant is going to act like it owns them. It's going to say, yeah, this is my name, this is my employee ID. But you know, obviously they're attached to basic employee. It's just something to understand. I'm trying to think of a good example of when you really want to kind of differentiate. But when set up, when instantiated properly, you can, for all intents and purposes, just say, yeah, the programmer's name. You don't have to go through and think about, oh, the programmer's basic employee's name. It works as you would expect it to. And that's kind of what this is talking about here. It's saying, yeah, that's what super's doing. It's setting, you know, it's basically mapping these from basic employee onto your accountant, so you don't have to reference basic employee ever. You only have to know it exists, but it is calling these variables that are attached to it. Does that make sense to everyone? Happy to take any questions or fiddle with this code. It's okay if you don't have any questions. This is not a huge stretch from what we already know, but if anything doesn't make sense, I'm happy to talk about it.
will it also inherit methods or just like parameters?
I'm pretty sure it can also inherit methods. I need probably should have checked that out on my own. I believe that is going to come up in in following lessons. So we can play with that if we want to. Let's just take a stab at it. Say hi.
It inherits everything.
Okay. Well, sometimes you got to prove it to them. Sometimes they don't believe you.
Yeah, let's see it.
So does that work? Or I gotta invoke it. I always forget. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, look at there. So you get everything. You get instantiation variables, you get functions. Um, Already I can see the wheels in y'all's heads turning. You're so excited. This is such a breakthrough. It's going to change the entire way you solve problems. And it could. If you like object-oriented programming. It's not the end-all be-all, but it makes a lot of sense for a lot of solutions, and it can work for all solutions. So you just gotta make sure you can read it, and if you like it, make sure you lean into it and learn how to use it, because you can build some really smart solutions with this that go beyond just building people. Like this kind of stuff you can do all kind of crazy data handling from like an API, pulling in these massive bits of data and chopping them up, doing all kinds of things, and being able to build tests really easily because all your classes are referencing one major class, so it's all kind of organized in a nice, easy way. You can do really in-depth like scrubbing of your data, which is important because Python's not going to take care of you if you make a mistake. But yeah. I'll end the recording now unless anyone's got something topical to talk about.
I had a question on this. Can you only reference one other class when you're doing this inheritance, or can you have multiple, like, that you can reference and super edit?
I think I need to verify this before I tell you, but I am pretty sure if you inherit something that is inheriting something else, probably should be able to reference its grandparent, I guess. But let me see if I can test this out real fast. Actually, what's a quick way to do this? Class, baby programmer. We're gonna put programmer in there. You're gonna need all this stuff, plus maybe something. We'll do that. Then we'll need to, and this. Come on, spaces, don't do this to me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's my daughter's name. Let's see if that blows up first of all. 6 were given, huh? What did I do?
Do we want to change
Should be
CP threads to baby programmer?
Yeah, we sure do. You're right. Good job. Uh-oh, looks like it's working. Hmm. Oh. Look at that. So yeah, you can inherit from the grandparents too. Which I expected was possible. I just wanted to verify it worked the way I thought it should. But yeah, you can kind of just keep going. Now, the specifics of how data is handled and changed and class variables and whatnot, that gets a little confusing. And it's definitely something worth playing with. But yeah. Anything else?
So if you want to import a class from one file to another and you want to import a child class, do you have to import the parent class with it?
No, well, you shouldn't have to. So whatever you're importing over should, when it's invoked, run its whole spiel. So if I wanted to see, accountant, so a different file, I say, hey, from that file, I want accountant. An accountant's pulling from some other file for basic employee. I am, as long as the file chain goes back, you should be fine. You don't need to, you shouldn't have to say, hey, I need accountant from here, but accountant's going to need basic employee, so I need basic employee from there. Python should walk through that backwards for you.
Okay.
That's my expectation. Definitely worth fiddling with. Try that out yourselves. If you'd like. I also can do it in front of you, but it takes a long time to walk through stuff. Okay, cool. All right. If that is it, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop recording.